This is a huge trial, 638,000 people, and they just watched people who were untreated. So the survival rate is quite poor for people with obstructive sleep apnea. Over 15, roughly, AHI. After 5 years, if you can see my things spinning around here, 74% of people were still alive. So 26% of people had died in 5 years. If you're diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea, you've got a 26% chance of dying within 5 years. It's terrifying. And in 34 years, in 20 years, your chance of being alive is 34%. So, 66% of people have died in 20 years. Now, please don't look at this next slide as, oh, I have to come off my CPAP, because CPAP in the first 5 years seems to protect you by about 10%, according to this. 84% of people are still alive, but there's not much difference over here. And that may be because people stop using their CPAP, or they don't use it quite as well, or they've got worse, but they haven't modified their CPAP levels. Surgery, on the other hand, doesn't require compliance. So what I mean by compliance, that you're using a CPAP every night. When you have an operation, even a bad one, 20 years ago, you can't not be compliant. You've had the operation. So not much difference at 5 years, but you can see that the difference, and we're talking about 7,000 people here, the difference is stark. It's 10% better than CPAP. So although everyone says that CPAP is really great, it is really good because the risks are very low. It doesn't seem to help certain things in your cardiovascular problems. It doesn't stop heart attacks and things like that. So that's the thing that we really worry about with CPAP. It seems not to help those sorts of things, but it's a much more complex relationship than this graph is saying here. So I'm going to go on to some case histories.